Hello, my amazing artists. I am recording today all of the videos that you will need for your March art packet. Please be aware that we are a little delayed on the first assignment, which is our Romero Britto inspired four-leaf clover. So we are going to get started today using the handout that I attached to your packet. So if you want to pull that out or fold your pages back so that you only have this one available, that's what you're going to need, as well as grabbing some markers. Okay, so go get your supplies and I'll see you back in just a minute. Okay, everyone, I have shown you some of Romero Britto's wonderful, amazing artwork. I hope that you got some inspiration from that, and then we can work on our four-leaf clover together, which is kind of looks like four hearts with a circle in the middle. So if you want to try your hand drawing some of these four-leaf clovers for St. Patrick's Day, or, you know, just because you want to, that would be an awesome thing to do over spring break. So first, what you want to do is get your black marker. We're going to add patterns and designs around our four-leaf clover to make it look more like Romero Britto's style of artwork. He uses a lot of color, so you also want to make sure that you have a good selection of either markers or crayons available to add more detail in the color. So first, we're going to start off kind of simply by drawing a line from where that middle section of each clover leaf kind of comes down. And we're going to divide these in half. Your lines don't have to be perfect, just try your best. And then what we're going to do is start adding in patterns for every single section on this clover. So first I'm going to start out simply drawing circles. Now these could be varying sizes of circles, or if you want them to be like mine, you can make them all the same. You can even add some that kind of look like they're hanging off the edge. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the one just next to it, and we're going to add some stripes. I'm going to make my stripes kind of curve so that it looks like that part of that clover is a little more three-dimensional. Down here on this section, I think I'm going to draw some simple flower shapes, much like the one you see down here. They can vary in size and the way you draw them. Now remember, as soon as you hit any of your black lines, you want to stop drawing and then just kind of stop yourself so that it looks like it kind of falls off the page, or that section, I guess, not even the page. I think I have room for some little ones. They don't all have to be the same size or the same style. If you wanted to add something different, you can do that. These are probably the simplest flowers to draw. All right, now I'm going to make some bigger polka dots. So I'm actually going to, I have double-ended markers here, so I'm going to use my thicker point, and I'm actually going to make these completely black circles. So like big giant polka dots. I'm going to put a few big polka dots in. Color them in as I go. Make sure you go slow. And then I'm going to fill in some of the space around those bigger polka dots with some smaller ones. That doesn't look like a circle. There we go. All right. So I think that fills that space pretty well, and I'm really happy with that, how that turned out. So now I'm going to look at what else I can do. I can do dots everywhere, which I think is a really fun way to kind of add a pattern in, and it's super simple. So I'm just going to, without making any noise with my marker, I'm just tapping the tip of my marker on my paper. Fill in the space. Now, if you wanted these to be bigger dots, you could of course make them bigger by drawing kind of a little circle and then coloring it in. But I think that shows up really well. I'll move that closer so you can see it. Okay. Now let's think, what else could we do? How about diagonal lines? Those can create a lot of visual interest. Now we did curved lines over here, so this is diagonal, so it's kind of going at an angle. And you can make that whatever angle you would choose. Okay. I'm going to keep turning my paper because I've got a couple more to do and I'm not really sure. I'm running out of ideas. Let's see. Thinking. Maybe I do another flower one, but I'll make my flowers have black centers. I think I'm going to do this with the thicker part of my marker here. So I'm going to draw black circles in just a few spots here and there. And then I'm going to make really bold flowers on this one. So I'm pushing a little harder with my marker to get a much thicker line than I did in the first set of flowers. Make this one really big so it stands out. And now I'm just going to add in a few little guys. There you go. We have one more section to go. We are almost finished with this. So I'm going to choose to do dashed lines in this one, and I'm going to make them diagonal like I did this. So I'm just going to put dashed lines down, add a diagonal, make sure you fill up the whole space, and there you have it. All right, I'm gonna turn my paper around. We forgot one very important thing at the beginning of this video, and that is you need to put your name and group letter at the top. Okay, so I know which class it's for and your grade, also, as well as your group number, so that I know who it belongs to. If it's easier for you to write on the bottom, that is fine as well, as long as it's somewhere on the page so I can see it. Now I want to add color to this. But before we move on to color, you might want to use your marker to add more patterns to the sections that appear behind the flower. So you can do anything you really want. You can make vertical lines, maybe some dots over here, A little more spaced out. Maybe they could be more ovalish. I think I like that look. So they're not so circly, but they can be varying sizes. Let me fix this one. Just a little more spread out though than we did over here. All right, there you have that. You can do nice thick lines like so. You can do polka dots like we did in this one, but I'm going to put them over here. Let's do this guy. And I'm just going to kind of randomly put these in so they're not in perfect little rows. This makes our background as interesting as our foreground. So the foreground being the four-leaf clover or shamrock, whatever you choose to call it. And then the background being all the stuff that's kind of happening behind it. I'm going to turn my page. I think I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to stick with horizontal lines for this one. So there's a lot of lines and things happening already. So I just want to make sure that this is just as interesting as the clover without being too busy. Do some big circles over here. As you noticed in Romero Britto's artwork, he does a lot of patterns and a lot of color, which is so much fun. So first I'm going to start out with, let's go with red. I believe this is red. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to start out with red, and I'm going to find a place that I want to use the red. So I think I'm going to do my diagonal pattern with every other section in red. Now you're thinking, it's a four-leaf clover. St. Patrick's Day is all about green. If you guys have enough different green colors at home, you could easily do this with greens. It really is up to you how you make this look. But I love the look of the colors and the interest that it adds to the drawing and the patterns. So there's my red. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere else I want red. I think I'm going to fill this guy in. And as I'm coloring here, you'll notice I'm making long lines to color in the space rather than scribbling. You definitely want to color neatly and make sure that your spaces are full and do not, oh gosh, I just realized on screen, my red looks very orange to you guys. It is red, I promise. But I guess it looks orange to you, so that's interesting. Make sure that when you're coloring though, you are filling in the entire space and you are not leaving anything with white space showing and that you're completely coloring it in. Something to note is if you trace around the edge of the section that you're coloring in, and you'll notice with this green, hopefully it shows up as green, I am going right over top of my black marker. And the reason is because you won't be able to tell that I went right over top of it. That's the beauty of black when you have a nice solid section, that you can just color right over top of it. All right, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to speed up this video so that you don't have to watch me color all of this in. And I will meet with you when I'm finished. Okay, friends, there you have it. Everything is colored in. I did leave some white space behind some of my sections. And the reason for that is just because I wanted a little bit of white to show up in my final project so that it's not so powerful with color. It is beautiful just this way, or you can color it all in. Sometimes using both crayons and markers really adds a great dimension to it. So if you want to draw in all of your black patterns with marker and then add color with crayons, those look stunning as well. So I hope you had fun making your Romero Britto inspired 4-leaf clover or shamrock. And you have a wonderful time doing this, and think about all the different patterns you can create. You do not have to copy what I have done here. I just want you to use pattern and have fun. Thanks, guys. Bye.